Have you ever wished you could make someone do exactly what you want? Without arguing, without convincing, without even asking? What if I told you, the secret isn't in controlling others, it's in making them believe it was their idea all along? Sounds impossible? It's not. In fact, a Roman emperor mastered this art almost 2,000 years ago, and his wisdom still works today. Let me tell you how. Scene opens with a young man standing on a rooftop at sunset. The city below hums with noise, cars, voices, chaos. He looks frustrated. He's tried everything, convincing, arguing, commanding, yet no one listens. Meet Adrian, a rising leader in his company, smart, ambitious. But there's one problem: people resist him. Every time he pushes, they push back. Every time he says, "Do this," they find a reason not to. One day, his mentor, an old history professor, invites him for tea. As they sit under a fading sun, the old man slides a worn-out book across the table. "Marcus Aurelius," he says, "the philosopher who ruled an empire without shouting." Adrian flips through the pages and reads a line that stops him cold. "The best way to control others is to control yourself first." He looks up. "Control myself? How does that make anyone listen to me?" The professor smiles. That's what Marcus understood. People aren't clay to be shaped. They're fire to be sparked. The next day, Adrian tries something different. In the office, his team struggles with a tough project. Usually he'd command, "Finish this by today, no excuses." But this time, he just says softly, "Take a break if you must." Others will pick it up silence. Then something surprising happens. His team looks at each other and keeps working. Not out of fear, out of pride. They chose to continue, and in that moment Adrian feels it. The power Marcus Aurelius spoke of. The power of reverse psychology. Cut to flashback, Rome, 180 AD. The Roman camp is silent. The wind cuts through the tents. Soldiers are exhausted, shivering, broken. Their emperor, Marcus Aurelius, walks among them, calm, quiet, almost invisible. A general whispers, "Should we order them to stand, sire?" Marcus shakes his head. He walks to the center, gathers the men, and simply says, "Rest if you must. Others will fight tonight." The soldiers look at him, puzzled. Then one stands up, then another, and another. Their pride burns brighter than their fatigue. They grab their swords, not because they were ordered, but because they chose to fight. That's leadership. That's influence. That's the art of reverse psychology, guiding without forcing, leading without commanding. Back in the modern world, Adrian starts to see this everywhere. He tells a colleague, "You probably won't enjoy this assignment. It's tough." By evening, it's done perfectly. He tells a friend, "You probably can't run 5 kilometers in one go." The next morning, his friend sends him a picture, drenched in sweat, triumphant. He smiles. Marcus was right. People don't like being told what to do. They love proving that they can. It's in our nature. We're rebels, not against others, but against limits. Cut to a classroom. The professor writes on the board, "Reactance Theory, Jack Brehm, 1966. When our freedom feels threatened," he explains, "we fight back to reclaim it." Adrian realizes Marcus Aurelius didn't just rule Rome. He understood the human mind centuries before psychology gave it a name. From that day, Adrian changes his approach, in leadership, in relationships, even in self-talk. When his mind whispers, "You can't handle this," he smiles and replies, "Oh, really? Watch me." Because that's how self-influence begins, a quiet rebellion against doubt. Think about it. A parent says, "Don't play with that button." The child's hand moves toward it. A teacher says, "You probably can't do this math problem." The student solves it just to prove them wrong. A brand says, "Think different." And suddenly people buy an identity, not a product. That's the invisible current running through our decisions, our pride, our freedom, our need to choose. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." He didn't order people to act right, he became the example. And when you become what you preach, you don't need to convince anyone. That's reverse psychology in its purest, most powerful form. Cut to Adrian standing before his team once again. No raised voice, no pressure, just calm confidence. "I trust you to handle it," he says. And he means it. Something shifts in the room. They feel free. And that freedom makes them rise. Because Marcus was right, when you force someone, they move out of fear. When you trust them, they move out of pride, and pride will always win over fear. Years later, Adrian gives a speech to new leaders. He doesn't quote business books or management manuals. He holds up the same old copy of Meditations and says, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." The crowd falls silent. He continues, "Influence isn't about control. It's about calm. It's about restraint. When you master your emotions, you naturally lead others, not by force, but by presence. Because real influence doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't say, 'Follow me.' It says, 'Be free.'" And that's the timeless secret Marcus Aurelius left for us, in leadership, in love, in life. The power to influence anyone begins the moment you control yourself. Fade out with the line, greater than, "When you control yourself, you influence everyone around you." That's not just psychology, that's Stoic wisdom, the kind that doesn't just change minds, it changes lives.